So hello everyone, my name is Mang, and for this mid-capstone project I have taken the problem statement number 4, which is text generation using AI. And specifically in that particular section I have taken the foggy rainwater text style. Why? Because first of all, it's a nostalgia hit for me, because when I was a old kid in my childhood days, I would really love to wait for the rainy season, specifically just to see those steamy, let's say, windows out there and write text and draw things on that foggy windows out there. So yeah, it was something I really wanted to work on. This is the first thing, and honestly the second part was also database, because I tried working with calligraphy and graffiti, those low-hanging fruits in the text generator. But what I felt was Flux and SDXL models are really able to do, let's say, understand the calligraphy and graffiti parts without even the use of LoRA. So I didn't understood, why we should just build in the LoRA part if it is working without it very well. So so this was the second point. Combining this to point was something what I called magic for me, because this is my LoRA, a great journey from data collection to execution. But I will definitely take you through the entire journey. But quickly, we will understand the workflow out there. A very basic workflow. There is no rocket science here, to be honest. These are all our diffusion flux step model out there. Just keeping the weight at very fast, because if I keep it at default, my local PC is gone, and also Jarvis is gone, so I don't even dare to keep it default. Dual clip loaders, I have kept two clip loaders, which is very normal with the flux workflows out there. Here I have kept FP16 out there, and this is the main clipel, our loader. And here VA, which is the entire workflow is completely normal. For example, let's say this is the positive prompt out there. There's empty latent image, zero conditioning for flux, because it doesn't accept the negative prompts out there. Giving the guidance to flux, I generally play around with 1.5 to 5. This is my range to play around in this entire experiment also, and it has turned out to be good. For K samplers, I'm just not experimenting much. I'm just keeping them at DPA, DPM PP 2M and SCM uniform. And steps, I try to take steps from 20 to 40. Generally, let's say I find a sweet spot around 30-35, but by default 20 works great. Like, if you don't want to experiment anything, 20 is the standard and it will work. CFG needs to be kept at 1 for the flux workflows out there. Generation, I always keep it randomized to get randomized outputs, good outputs, not that it will follow the same image out there. And this is VA decoder, and it's simple saving my file into the output folder. And this is my main LoRA node. I've loaded my version 3 LoRA out there. Again, here specifically, in my case, the strength one has worked out well. I've even gone a bit above it. For example, let's say 1.2, 1.3. especially to get that exact text type, to exact get that styling right. In normal LoRAs, for example, face LoRAs, I didn't face this particular issue. But yeah, here I have just bound things to, let's say, 1.2 is a good range out there. So yeah, this is the normal workflow. I just play with bit of strength, a bit of guidance, steps. Yeah, these are the normal three things which I specifically play to get good outputs. Also prompting bit here and there to make sure that if it is just there and not giving that 100% satisfaction, then I manually tweak some things out there in the prompt. But in general, GPT prompts definitely work out there. So yeah, let's now go to the entire journey part. uh, I would love to share that particular part because yeah, why not? First of all, the question is why I selected this particular type, which is clear from our initial discussion. There were 2 points, and both of them are very clear out there. The next part is what was the process of data collection. Honestly, I initially started exploring TTFs and OTFs for this. That I will take a specific font style and integrate into this rainwater foggy text type. This was my initial plan out there. I went to Google Fonts, downloaded a few TTFs files out there, wrote a Python script with the help of GPT, so that it takes the TTF and just writes on that rainwater entire text, entire image out there. But things were not working out great, to be honest. The text seemed to be, let's say, someone has just superimposed it, not great blended or aligned with the image out there, the base image of, let's say, that foggy rainwater types background, which I had used. So scrap that particular plan because it didn't make sense to me. Now the next part was to look for, let's say, LoRAs out there. I was sure that there are no LoRAs specifically for this let's say foggy rainwater textile, which I have selected, because in my initial research, when I was looking at things, I broadly looked at if there are any, but still I went deep into it. I explored CivitAI, Hugging Face, and few other things out there, but nothing very solid out there. So the only option left was going the manual route of let's say finding one after the other image. Pinterest, Google Images, iStock, all of these places help me in a greater manner, and that's how I collected roughly around about 200 images. The other 50 images I created myself on the Photoshop. To be honest, I don't know Photoshop at all, but I just learned on the fly to just create a good data set, because few symbols, few numbers, and also some small case letters were missing in the images I had collected, and I was not able to actually find them. So the only option was left for me was to learn the Photoshop thing, try to get realistic outputs of the missing characters, numbers, and symbols which I want, and get my wheel of training ongoing. So yeah, that's what I did. Now the bigger hit was when I came to know that AI toolkit it is not able to, let's say, take more than 150 images out there. Even it is struggling with 150 images, but my data set had 250 images. So I tried locally, it was able to take the entire 250 images. So it was quite shocking for me But then I realized that it is some Jarvis lab and AI toolkit integration issue, which is not letting, let's say, AI toolkit get above that particular mark. I used higher instance like H100 to see if in case it works. It's not just instance limitation, but I actually found out that it's not that particular issue. Then I, worked on fixing the Python file for it. The Python file which we call, for training. I just fixed it, that particular file. And the next thing was, going much deeper into the rabbit hole of how other folks have created this text generators out there. So I messaged a lot of folks, specifically on the CivitAI, uh, that can you please share how you guys created your let's say LoRAs out there, what were the steps, and what were let's say small things you kept in mind, how many number of images did you guys trained on. So yeah, this was a broader thing, which I had a conversation about with other folks out there. I reached out to a lot of them. Very few of them responded, and that's how I tweaked my things around, keeping in mind what each and everyone was doing. Next part was about captioning. It was honestly very hard that I didn't wanted to go out on the manual route, because manually captioning 250 images was never a point out there, and it didn't made sense. So I explored Florence too, that how can we run it locally. It wasn't turning out to be great because there were dependency issues. So what I did was, I moved to BLIP 2 for captioning, and I ran it locally on my PC, wrote Python files for it, integrated BLIP 2, and boom, I had captions for each and every image generated. And the next part was creating LoRAs. So for creating the LoRAs, I have created 4 LoRAs. The first two were 150, roughly the one with 150 images, and the second one was with roughly 60 images. First of all, I trained both of these LoRAs, generated few outputs from it, and realized that few symbols which I badly want are still missing. And I thought, why not try, training on lesser number of images. So that's when, I improved my data set. I went ahead with a smaller data set of, let's say, 20-30 images, and also a data set of roughly 80 images. So yeah, trying both of these things out there, and finally what I concluded was, the LoRa's with 20-30 images and the LoRa with 50 to 60 images was performing quite good out there. And that's when it hit that quality matters, not the quantity. For example, I had given 150 images, but it's not sure that giving this much amount of images made sure that it will work very well. So this was one of the bigger learning. Also, when I was running things locally too, and also on ComfyUI to generate outputs at a very faster pace, so that I can complete the project early. But honestly, what happened was opposite thing. I used SSH to protocol to download the outputs from the Jarvis labs to my local PC, and as both of them had same prefix out there, it actually overrode all the outputs I generated locally. And my bad that I didn't took care of those small things, and I had to regenerate all of those things entirely, which I generated on my local PC. So yeah, honestly, it's a great journey, and thank you for giving this opportunity. Further, what I plan is to integrate, let's say, more of the marketing material types to make sure that I can generate those to handle more doodles out there, more emojis out there, because I would love to see more creativity coming out of it. And as you will see my outputs, I'm given the hardest ones in the assignment because I wanted to test its upper limit, and that's why I had also included few doodles, few of the mathematical things in my training data set also. So yeah, this is the entire sum up of my things. I guess by the time you will see this video, I would have uploaded my models on CivitAI and Hugging Face, because I plan to, let's say, make it public, at least the initial V1 version. So hopefully you will able to find them there too. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity, specifically Shridev, Pranay, and everyone at the 100x team who made sure that we completed this first module and first mid-capstone project very well. And also special mention to my mentor Anji, who was there to solve our doubts. So yeah, this is all it. Signing off, the Sumang, and do let me know how you liked my entire project.